If you want a degree in cyber or IT in 2025, check out UMGC. Low cost tuition, 100% online, and get this, the app fees waived.
I'm on this call right now. Sir, all right, welcome, everybody. There we go. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen and hear me. All right, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to my channel. Make sure that you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll miss out on any more value. If you're watching on Facebook, please like, share, and comment this post. So yeah, y'all, today I just want to walk you guys through how to deposit to Extreme Markets. All right. And the reason why I want to walk you guys through this is because I had some people ask me, Noah, what MT4 are you using on the bot, right? Because my bot can only be used on MT4, but you can copy from MT4 to MT5 or DX Trade or C Trade. But you got to have that MT4 set up first. But yeah, so a good MT4 platform I'm using is Extreme Markets. All right, and if you click that link in the description, it's going to take you to the registration page. It's going to look like this here, and you just type in your information, go ahead and register. There'll be an activation sent to your email, and then you can log in. And when you log in, it'll look like this here. All right, so this will be your back office. For your account to fully unlock, you'll need to verify your account. So just come up here, click verify. There'll also be a button here for you to verify. Once you verify your account, you turn in your KYC documents. That'll be your proof of address and your proof of ID. Then you need to deposit, all right? You need to deposit to your account. So click this deposit in the top right. And there's several different ways to deposit. You can use wire transfer, Bitcoin, Perfect Money, crypto, PayPal. All right, but fastest way is probably going to be Bitcoin. All right, and the most easiest way. So you just come here, type in the amount. Right, let's say you want to put in $10,000. You're going to copy this link, right, and be very, very careful. All right, you don't want to try to put this in one by one. Just copy the whole thing, or even better yet, just scan this QR code. All right, then once you send, go ahead and take a screenshot of your receipt or your confirmation page, and upload it, and then submit request. All right, so if it's during Monday through Friday, it should be pretty fast. If it's on the weekends, you have to wait till Monday. But yeah, you should see your balance pop up right here, right in your wallet balance. Okay, so now you need to create your account. Create your demo account first so that you can practice. All right, so just come here, click Open Demo Account. All right, you can leave this on standard, right, or ECN. The amount, I think the lowest that it goes to is 5,000, right? So if you're starting with under $5,000, I definitely would just choose 5,000. If you're doing with more than that, right? If you're trading with more than 5,000, then try to start with the amount that's around the amount that you'll be starting on your live account. All right. Leverage, you can put 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 500. That's fine. USD, and then click proceed. All right. So now you got your demo account created. It'll pop up. It'll pop up under demo accounts, right? So you'll see it under here. Also create your live account, right? So click on open live account. You could change this to standard or ECN. Maximum leverage will be 1 to 400, and then proceed. And now you got your live account. All right, so you'll see both of those accounts pop up under live and demo accounts. Now you need to do an internal transfer, right? Transfer the money from your wallet balance to your account balances, right? So what you'll do is you'll go to funding, you'll go to internal transfer, select wallet, and then the to account will be the live account that you created, and then the amount that you want to put in that account, and then click transfer. All right, so once you do that, now you have money on your live account, and it will look like this here, right? The MT4 download, right? So to get your MT4 downloaded, you're going to come over here to the sides where it says platform on the left hand side, and you're going to download MT4 desktop. All right. So once you download that, and then just click run, right? It'll ask you if you want to install or run. Just click run so that this pops up automatically after it downloads. Right, so download it, then you get in here to log into your account. You'll click on this bottom right little green and blue box, go to login. All right, and if you want to log into your live account, you'll come here, click on here, click on Brill 2 if it's your live account. If you want to log into the demo account, click demo. And then the login and password will be sent to your email. All right, so check your email for your login and your password. It's usually the login account number, and then the password will be a bunch of different random letters and numbers. Just copy and paste that, and then click login. If you did it right, there'll be like a little notification that'll go off, and also you'll see the balance pop up down here. Okay, and then this will turn from red to green and blue, right in this bottom right corner. All right, so now you're logged into your MT4. You got your MT4 downloaded. Now you can get. I would suggest if you're going to practice on demo, go ahead and practice your strategy. If you don't have a strategy, then you can join my group. I'm allowing people to join my group for free. all you have to do is create a broker account with that link above. And then you can buy Lucy, right? If you want to get access to Lucy, go ahead and click the link in the comments or the description. Click on that. I'm doing $100 off till New Year's, so till January 1st, $100 off. So it would be $400 one time, right? For lifetime access, you can put it on unlimited accounts, get access to our Discord for lifetime and our free Telegram group. You'll get tutorials, you get the set files, you'll get any updates that'll come as well, right? So you definitely want to take advantage of that lifetime deal. If you don't, then you can break it down into two different payments of $250 for 2 months straight, and you can get access that way. All right. So whichever route you want to go, you can do that. You can also use Klarna, Afterpay, or Affirm, which will knock it down to like $75 in 4 payments. Okay. So whichever way you want to do, y'all can do it, make it happen. Right. So once you download, you'll get the instructions sent to your you'll get the instruction videos sent to your email. So you just click that. Once you have Lucy, download it to your laptop or whatever device you're using, right? And then go through those tutorial steps. Right? If you have trouble going through that and getting everything set up, then you can reach out to support at thefreedomcode.com, or you can reach out to me if you need help as well. All right. So yeah, that's how you deposit. That's how you get Lucy set up. Now, I want to head over here and look at this BTC analysis. All right. So, personally, right, when I look at this, and right now I'm looking at the hour time frame, right, the first thing that I ask myself, just like anybody that's ever traded with me, is what's the trend of the market? Okay. So, I had this trend line. First off, let me get rid of these drawings real quick. There we go. All right. So, this is on the hour time frame. Right, but you always want to back out to a larger time frame. I would even say like to like the hour, 4 hour or daily. All right, so just to get an overall picture of what we're seeing. All right, so if I'm looking at this, I can clearly tell that it's in an uptrend. Right, we're in an uptrend, and where I had my trend line drawn, right, when I was looking at this before this all created was about around here. Right, so I have my trend line drawn like this. All right. So this is the trend that I was trading off of, right? So you can see here prices starting on our trend line, bouncing off, coming back down to our trend line, bouncing off, testing our trend line again, right? And then finally, this is the move that I was waiting for, right? For the reversal. Because a lot of people were saying, like when I said like a big reversal was going to come, a lot of people were saying like, no, it's going to go up to 200K, right? And that's just not how trading works, right? We're all about to find out how trading works, right? Because a lot of y'all are excited about crypto, you're excited about Bitcoin going up, and this is what happens every single time, right? People get you guys excited, you start buying in, then there's the pullback, and it wipes out your account, and then you're like, oh, Bitcoin isn't real, right? But this happens all the time. It goes up, it comes back down, it retraces, it goes back down, it comes back up again, right? Just like life. Life is just not going to go completely up the whole time, right? We don't live in a fairy tale world. There's going to be times where you come down, back down to the valley. There'll be times where you go to the mountaintop. All right. So that's how trading works. And so I was just waiting for this to start pulling back, broke our trend line. And like I said, this is one of the strategies that I use is the break and retest method. Is whenever we see a break in our trend line, what usually happens is it'll retest our trend and continue in that direction, right? So we had a second retest of a trend line, and now it's starting to come back down. So what I see when I take and you guys will learn about this, like this is a little bit advanced for some of y'all, but when I take my Fibonacci tool and I draw from the lowest point to the next highest point, right? What usually happens is when we see a big breakout, bullish or bearish, what you'll find will happen is there'll be some type of 50% retracement, right? And what I mean by that is this is our 50% line right here. You will usually see a pullback at least 50% before we either continue or it decides to reverse. Okay, so you can see here clearly it broke our trend line, retested once, retested twice, and now we're right here consolidating again. So what I think is going to happen is we'll see this breakout to the bottom, and it'll probably touch at least 88K, 87K, right? That would be the 50% retracement on this move, right? And I know a lot of us, we don't want to hear that, and it seems like Bitcoin is just crashing, right? But this is what happens every single time, right? We can go back in the past. You can see, right? Every time we had a big breakout, right? And I'm gonna go out to the daily just so that you guys can really see. Okay. Happens every time, you guys. It just doesn't go up and up and up forever, right? And that's what a lot of y'all are expecting Forex to be like, or trading in general, right? You think you're just going to put in your money and you're just going to profit and it's going to skyrocket and keep going up and up forever, right? Your profits is going to just skyrocket and you're just going to become a millionaire overnight. And yeah, it does happen, right? If you get in, position yourself at the right times. Like, for example, when price came down here and did a more than 50% retracement, right? So let me just show you guys, right? I really want to break this down. All right, so from the lowest point to the highest. Okay. So Bitcoin took off. This was in April 2020. Bitcoin started to take off. December 20th, 2020, going into January 2021, Bitcoin still taking off. And then it started to pull back, right? And what did it pull back to? 50% retracement, right? All the way down to the 60% retracement. Shot up again after the 60% retracement, made an all-time high. This was in November 2021. After that, started to come back down and retrace. What did it retrace to? 70% retracement, right? Way past the 50. So when we saw this happen, right, and I actually had a trend line drawn right here, so I really should have already been in a buy, right? But when we saw this, okay, it's all about getting in position, right? Waiting for a price to hit a certain point and reacting. All right, so I actually had this trend line drawn, and I was telling myself, all right, so when it retraces back to this trend line, I need to get in for a buy, right? So this was a perfect opportunity in December 2022, 2022. Perfect opportunity to get in for a buy when it touched our trend line, right? Came all the way back, 70% retracement. Should have been enough for a buy all the way till now, right? Be a millionaire. But it's all good, right? We missed that move. And we just can't continue to keep saying that, right? Can't continue to say, oh man, I keep missing the move. If I would have got in here, I would have been able to be in so much profit, right? Eventually, we have to position ourselves. So what we're going to do on this next pullback, right, which will probably be to our 70% retracement down here around 80K, 75K, right? When that does happen, we need to make sure we're getting in for buys. Realistically, right, if we're really going off this trend line, it's really supposed to pull back all the way down to here, right? So, which would be crazy, but that's the analysis, right? That's what I'm looking at. So every time that it retraced at least 70%, it took off more than 100%. So I'm just saying, right? If we're going off this analysis, right, we draw a Fibonacci tool from here, from the lowest point to here, right? 70% would be around here, 30K. Right, but that'd be crazy for it to drop all the way down here. But if it does, in that case that it does drop down to here, definitely be ready to get in for your buys, because every time it retraced at least 70%, it went up 100%. Okay, so that's really realistically what would happen. Yes, I would love to see it shoot up and go past 200K, right, and make everybody millionaires. But just realistically, just looking at it, right, and we're still very early, y'all. That's the crazy thing. Like if we're looking at this as a whole, we're still very early, right? So even if it did come back all the way down to our trend line, which is around 31, 40K, right? That'd be 70% retracement. Every time it did that, every time it did 70% retracement, it took off 100%. So in the case that it does, right, come all the way back down here, that's another chance for our buy. Our next chance for a major move, right, is just to catch it coming back down to this trend line. So I'm in for sales right now, and I'm anticipating it coming at least down to at least 80 to 90K, right, in this range. Okay. This is right at least around here. Okay, so let me get rid of these drawings. All right, so if we do our Fibonacci tool just from this most recent bullish move, right, from here to here, 50% retracement would be around 78K, 79K. Right, so this is the move that I am anticipating, right? So that's the thing about Forex, right? Even though we missed this big bullish move, right, all the way to 100K plus, we can still profit on it coming down, right, for the retracement. And it's going to retrace. It's not going to keep going up forever. It's going to come back down, retrace just like it has in the past, and then shoot off, right? So this is the move that I'm anticipating. Where's my arrow? Anticipating it coming down to here. And then it could bounce off of there, create an all-time high again from there. Right? You never know. That'd be ideal, right? Especially for a lot of y'all that are in buys right now. You definitely want to see that. But realistically, like I said, if we back out, what it's done is retrace at least 70% every single time. All right, so just like when it was down here at 4K, took off up to about 65K, right? And that was in April 2021. And then it retraced at least halfway to June 2021, then took off again, right after the 50% retracement, all the way up to about 69K. And that was November, December 2021. And then it retraced 70%. After this retracement of 70%, right here is where we're at. This was December 2022. It took off, had a little pullback, took off to 100K, right? So, like I said, realistically, it is going to come back and at least do 70% retracement. So that would be from here That'd be from the lowest point out here to there, 70%. That just sounds crazy, right? To think that it could come all the way back down to 40K, but it's done it in the past, right? 70% retracement. So you guys just brace yourself. I know we want to see Bitcoin go up forever, but it's just not how it's worked, right? Even in the past, when we was all the way in 2021, right? When we was all the way at 69K right here in November, and we thought Bitcoin was going to skyrocket then, and then did 70% retracement. After that 70% retracement, started to creep back, took off again, right? So just brace yourself, right? If it does happen, don't be surprised. Don't panic. Just understand if it comes all the way back down here, we gotta be ready to get in for buys again, right? Because who knows if it's going to come back down that far again? Because it could just take off, right? It could very well just take off from here. But even if it does take off to 150, 200K, which would be here. Even if it does take off and hit that, it's still going to come back and retrace eventually. All right, so we just got to be in position, right? We could have been in position years ago. So eventually we got to catch on to what's going on, right? And this is the trend line that I had, right? This is the trend line I drew when it took off the last time, right? When it did this little spike up to 69K, I had this little trend line drawn. I said, you know what? Next time it comes back down to at least here, right? To at least 18, 20K, I'm going to make sure I get in for a buy. Missed it again, right? I did eat off a little bit, right? Just trading Forex, but I really could have just gotten for a buy here and held it all the way till now. But it's all good, right? We're going to catch the pullback because it's definitely going to pull back. That's one thing for sure, right? I can see it pulling back to at least here, at least 75K, 80K. 70% retracement would be down here around 40K. In the case that it does come down here, like I said, remember, if price does come down here, don't panic. Don't think Bitcoin's just going to crash. It's just following analysis, right? It's going to bounce off this trend line until it decides to take off. All right, 200K. That's the next stop. All right, but like I said, we're still. It's so early, y'all. We're still very early in this whole crypto Bitcoin phase. All right, but we just got to position ourselves. If we position ourselves in the right place at the right time, we can make a fortune. All right, or we can continue to keep watching it, saying, "Oh, if I would have got in here, I'd be a millionaire." Right? We can keep saying that, or we can take action. For me, I got to start taking action because obviously crypto is not going anywhere. Mainstream banks are starting to get a hold of it. Eventually, we'll have a digital dollar, right? And that's just the way it's going, right? So we have to educate ourselves. We have to get in position so that we can benefit in the future. Right? I made a post to say if we had $1,000 in Bitcoin 12 years ago, 2012, up until now, we have 7.7 million. So in 12 years, right, from now will be 2036, right? So we can meet back here, Lord willing, 2036, and we're either going to say, yo, we got in position, or we're going to be saying the same thing. Like, man, if I got in Bitcoin back in 2024, I'd be a millionaire, right? So eventually something has to click. Eventually we have to do something, right? Something different. So y'all, this is just my analysis, right? It's not, obviously anything could happen. And I'm not a psychic. I'm not some guru trader. Right? I'm just going off my analysis. All right. So y'all trade at your own risk and make up your own analysis. All right. So you can get in position. But yeah, that's just what I see, right? This is what I see happening. I see it definitely pulling back, at least to this red line here pretty soon. I'm in for sales right now, and I'm just going to ride it out for this pullback for these next couple. Like every pullback that we had right after a high lasted about a year or two. All right, we see here this was our last um, like really big bullish run. Right, was back in 2021, and it was at about 69K, and then it started to drop. Right, pullback, and that pullback lasted to January 2023. Right, so that was about 2 years. So if there is a pullback that's about to happen from here, it'll last about 2 years, right? So 2026, 2027 is when we can expect it to be back down to our trend line. At that point, we definitely want to be getting in for buys, right? But we can ride these sales out, right? We can eat off these sales all the way back down to our trend line, even though we missed this big bullish run. Who knows? Maybe the bullish run isn't over, right? It could still very well take off. But I'm just going off from what it has done in the past, right? In the past, it's always, once it hit an all-time high, retrace 70%, 50 to 70% every time. All right, even right here, if we go all the way back to December 2017. All right, that was the year I went to Spain, and I had 1,000 in Bitcoin, right, that I had got, and I sold it right before this started to do the 70% retracement, just because I knew a retracement was about to come. But let's see, how much do you think it retraced, right, from that 2017 run? Any guesses? All right, let me check the chat. How much do you think it retraced, right? From here to there. Okay. Here's the 70% retracement mark. All right. So 70 over about around 70, 80. Okay. So we see here retraced to 70, 80% retracement, went up, retraced again, 70%, and then took off. All right. And then took off. Retraced about 50%, took off. Right. So we take our Fibonacci tool, go from here to there. All right. Retraced to the 78%. Once it retraced to 78%, took off again. All right. So do you guys see the pattern? Pulled back once, looking like a pullback again. Probably will pull back. How much do you think it'll retrace? Here to there. Sheesh. All right, so if it does what it did in the past, if it retraces again, at least 70%, right? And it could just take off right from here. What I've usually noticed, it usually bounces off the trend line probably about like 4 to 5 times before it just takes off. So I believe this might be like our let's see. Let me get rid of these. Let's just see. All right. Sheesh. Yeah, so it might not come all the way back down again, right? But it's definitely going to retrace. It's just really hard for me to think that it would come all the way back down here again, but it has done it before, right? That's about it right there. Like I said, y'all, we're still very early in this. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of hard for me to think it would come all the way back down here again, right? But that might have been the last touch, right? We never know. That might have been our last chance that it would ever come back down and slow. But it has always retraced at least 70%. Okay, so if it is to retrace again, 70% will be around here, around the 37K area. But I don't know. I don't see it retracing all the way back down there. I mean, it could. I definitely see it retracing at least to here, though. Right, and that's like the 72K area. All right, y'all. So it's all about getting in position, right? So if you have, like I said, if you need help getting your automated trading bot set up, you can get that for you. I'll be starting that trading back up around January 2nd. Is when I'll be turning on the bot again. Those of you that want to get into my free trading group, all you have to do is create a broker account with either Novus Markets or Extreme Markets. Make your deposit, and then I'll put you in the free trading group. $100 off right now on Lucy until New Year's. Right, so if you use that promo code New Year's, it'll knock off $100 for you. But yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. All right, y'all. So Noah got to hear Mr. Laptop Lifestyle. If you didn't know, now you know what I'm trying to do is grow. Like I always say, make the rest of it the best of it. I'll meet you at the top because that bottom is way too crowded. Let's go.